Alright. I like how the level thumbnails are completely blacked out there. Something I haven't seen in a long time, so I'm so used to having every level unlocked. So yeah, you have these briefings between Moneypenny and the Q branch and everything before each level, but I don't think I'm gonna show them anymore. Because I never read them. I don't think I've read an entire one ever. If I have at all, it's been a really long time, but... So this is something that I just do every time I play this level. Is you know, I've done a million times, to shoot the guy's hat off and shoot him in the head. And I think, you know, that's what everyone does, but it's just one of the most memorable things about this game, as well as this entire level. I guess the ceiling just wanted some too. But this entire level is probably one of the most memorable levels in first-person shooter history. I guess because at the time, it was the most closely resembling game of a movie. You know, like, it was the most... I don't know how many games have been made from movies at this point. There have been, you know, the Back to the Future games, or just there's some that come off the top of my head, Ghostbusters, stuff like that, but I guess this was the first one of the new console generation. And this level is very early on in the game. It was pretty well designed, and it actually did resemble the movie. None of this game really resembles the movie that closely. But this level is probably the closest to the movie that you're gonna get. I was trying to get him to do some animation where they jump up and grab their ass and you shoot them in the ass. And yeah, I used to always do this thing when I played this game as a kid, where I would shoot those notes on those bulletin boards like I was destroying their information. And I used to think I was really cool for doing it. Well, I just thought it was a cool idea. I was really into spy stuff and destroying enemy files. And that glass exploding was some pretty new technology at the time. It was really interesting. And it's still really satisfying to shoot glass and watch it shatter in this game. I really like shooting enemies through glass. Yeah, this is probably my most played level in the game. It might not be my absolute most played level, but it's definitely one of the most played levels. I, like everyone else, really like this level. And those guys with the helmets are obviously less susceptible to headshots. And they throw a few guys with helmets at you in the beginning of the game, but there's really not that many later on. This is one of the only levels I can think of that has enemies with helmets on. And that seems like something that would have happened a lot in the later levels, but it isn't. You don't have to kill everyone in the levels, but I just really like to, because they can sneak up on you, but at some point in this level, respawning guards show up, and some levels just have respawning guards the whole time. So, you know, there's no point in trying to kill everyone, but I know where the enemy placement is. So I try and kill them all, just so they don't come after me later. Because in 00 Agent, someone coming after you later is a big deal. Someone that you missed in a room can come up behind you out of nowhere and kill you. And I don't know why those lockers explode. They must have bombs in them or something. The scientists will just stand in your way through all the guards coming left and right. And this is where some respawning guards show up. Or just guards spawn in for the first time, I guess. And they might not be respawning, but they were spawned in. Yeah, all three of those guys had helmets on. There's also bullet holes on their helmets if you shoot their helmets, which I think is cool. In fact, the first memory I have of playing this game is I was playing it at a Toys R Us, I think. It might have been a Best Buy or something. But me and my dad were playing it. And I was very used to playing computer games, because that's like all I had played at that point. And me and my dad were playing the Versus mode, and I couldn't even make myself move. I kept running around in circles and shit, and I was like, how the hell does anyone play this? And I'm looking for there's a guy, Dr. Doak, who he normally spawns in the very back room, which is the most convenient place for him to be. But sometimes he's in one of these rooms, or in this other room that's out of the way to go to, that its only purpose is if Dr. Doak spawns there. But no, he spawned in his normal place, but I checked every place anyway. Shooting the scientists was something I had a lot of fun doing as a kid, trying to shoot them without killing them. Although that one I ended up shooting in the head by accident. But it was just fun to watch their animations, like especially if you shoot them in the hand and they shake their hand like, ah, my hand! Like they touch something hot. I always liked that because that's like a James Bond with one of those no entry signs, like the red circle with a line through it. I always thought that was cool. I always thought that was just a nice Easter egg, like a nice touch, whatever, you know, little things you might not even notice. I remember as a kid I used to shoot it till it was unrecognizable. And that guy was about to throw a grenade, which some guards do. And when they do their grenade animation, what's supposed to be is them pulling the pin out and about to throw it. But I always thought as a kid that it was them being like, yeah, I'm going to throw this grenade. Because that's what they look like. They look like they have this really confident attitude about throwing the grenade. And it looks like these like they're showing off that they're going to throw the grenade. Like, ah, kill this guy, no big deal. This room is pretty annoying because there's a ton of guards in here in the first place, and then there's a ton of guards on either side of those doors that are open through the computer, which are only open through the computer, which is kind of a pain in the ass because they're locked otherwise. Although you can make some noise with your gun and guards will come out and find you. There's a lot of guys on either side of those doors and they'll come after you. You can really get trapped and fucked up pretty badly in this area of the level, but I didn't have too much of a problem with it. But yeah, I thought you had to wait for that to close for this one to open, but no, you just have to close it. But you still do have to wait because they can't both be open at the same time for some reason. So this is a room that has no purpose unless Dr. Doak spawns here, and he didn't. You can also shoot those gas canisters down there and gas will fill the level and you'll eventually die. I've done it before. But I do like these areas up here. I like going up to these spots where the guards are just standing there, I guess, making sure the scientists are working. But yeah, I meant to say this a while ago, but I got sidetracked. On one of my earliest memories of playing this game, it was before I owned it. It had to be at a Best Buy or Toys R Us or something. I'm not sure if it was the same day I was playing it with my dad, because in this memory I was playing it by myself. But I remember I was shooting at a guard and I killed him, and but then I just kept shooting afterwards because I just frantically shooting at him. I shot the wall a bunch of times, and when I remember I saw bullet holes, and I remember my eyes widened so big, and I was like, "Holy shit! There are bullet holes!" That was so impressive to me because I had been playing a lot of Doom before this. Before I played this game, Doom was the only first-person shooter I think I had ever played, except for like Doom 2. And I remember there were no bullet holes in that game, and this was before the GZ Doom executable and all that. This was just when you had the copy of Doom that you had, the shareware version, or if you actually bought the game. And there weren't any bullet holes. There are bullet holes in the GZ Doom executable, I've noticed from playing Doom recently. I have a memory with that guard. I remember I turned around once and I shot him before he noticed me, and he did this death animation where he just trips and falls, and well, he doesn't trip really, but he like stumbles back and slides down the wall. And it was one of my favorite death animations as a kid, if not my favorite. And that guard actually did it. But I remember I would always try and get that first guard when you turn here to do it, and I pretty much never can do it. I did it by accident one time, and was never really able to replicate it. And there was Dr. Doak. I don't know where the fuck he was when he was talking to me, but there he is running away. So it's just suddenly his text appeared on the screen. I'm not sure where he was. I thought maybe I could see in the recording. I still can't. And this is something I always do. I always shoot at this scientist through the glass to break that vial. I did it once when I was a kid, and I just thought it was really cool. And I swear to God, I'm not sure if this actually happened or not, but one time I walked through a door, and there was a scientist carrying a briefcase holding a DD-4. And he started shooting at me. He was immediately hostile. And I'm not sure if that actually happened or not. Right there, I had no fucking idea what happened. I thought I had missed a guard. I completely forgot that if you shoot scientists too much, that there's a chance they'll pull out a DD-4 and shoot at you. It's a pretty rare chance that that'll happen, but it can happen sometimes, and I had completely forgotten at that point. That guy did the jump up and grab his ass animation. I swear to God, one time I found an RCP-90 in this room when I was just screwing around. That's another thing I'm not sure if it really happened or not, or if it's just an obscured memory. But yeah, so at the beginning of this level, you're in the bathroom, and everybody knows that. Everybody remembers that. Oh yeah, I always think that you have to go up to the door to activate the door decoder, but I mean to the thing where you put the door decoder on in the movie, but you don't actually have to. You just go up to the door. I was having a little trouble remembering. But that starting off in the bathroom was really interesting to me as a kid. And I remember thinking that guy that's at the urinal, I remember actually thinking that if you snuck up on him fast enough, you'd see him taking a leak. Like, I thought he was in there taking a leak, but all he does is stand there until you turn around. But it does look like, because he's just standing towards the urinal and then turns around, it does look like he's just taking a piss. I remember, like, one of the first times I played this level, my dad was there, if not the very first time. I remember my dad making this joke, like, you're sitting there taking a dump, and then some guy comes in with a gun and starts shooting at you. And I remember thinking that was really fucking funny as a kid. So here's 006. That you can see patrolling in this room in those, like, mission previews. And that's the way I always throw the mines on the gas cans, whatever you want to call them. Because that manages to destroy them all. Sometimes you can't destroy them all. 006 has a D5K Deutsch, which is a gun that you'll start using later on. And it's weird that they gave him that gun, because it's just... it's not a very good gun, I don't know. And he just runs up and starts shooting at the wall. I remember I loved to stand here and try and pick off the guards as they ran down. I thought this was awesome when the guards ran down, but you pretty much miss them all. I was trying to kill Oromov, because I don't think you can. I remember one time I turned on invincibility and chased him all through the level, and I don't think he dies. He just despawns, and then I fucking died because I hadn't destroyed that yet. I was just playing kind of carelessly, but I guess it worked out for the best because I needed the demo of death anyway, because the death scenes in this game are so memorable. That classic blood running down the screen like in the movies is just awesome. And then you just see yourself get shot from 3 different angles. Here's me successfully doing it. And there's 2 ways you can leave the level. And although it doesn't have any different effect on the next mission, but here's the way you leave through the actual movie on this conveyor belt, although you don't slide across it or anything and shoot the barrels and make them fall on the enemies like he does in the movie. You just walk through. But I remember thinking that was a really cool exit cutscene as a kid. And here's the other exit, as 006 just shoots at nothing. And I remember, like, I think the reason I died was because I was trying to get Oromov killing 006 on screen, and I'm normally not looking towards it. And right here, I'm trying to use I'm trying to use a mine to blow him up, but it doesn't work. So, well, I couldn't even manage to throw it, because when you get shot, you get moved around, and the last canister didn't blow up. And I'm just trying to show the exit. Yeah, there's the much easier way to exit the level. You don't even have to see 006 get killed, you just have to have the mission's objectives complete to exit the level.